It's time for St. Lucia Magazine, your monthly wrap-up.
Hello and welcome to St. Lucia Magazine, your weekly news program bringing you the latest updates on key developments in healthcare, education, infrastructure, and the economy. I'm your host, Nival Auguste. In this week's edition, St. Lucia receives $18.5 million from the Republic of China, Taiwan, and the Minister for Equity details the ministry's approach to poverty alleviation.
It's time for St. Lucia Magazine, your monthly wrap-up.
The government of St. Lucia received $18.5 million from the Republic of China, Taiwan to fund the Constituency Development Program. More in this report from Rihani Isidore.
The government of St. Lucia received a significant boost to its community development initiatives on April 7th, as the Republic of China on Taiwan presented a check for $18.5 million during an official handover ceremony held in the Cabinet Room at the Office of the Prime Minister. Her Excellency Nicole Su, Taiwan's resident ambassador to St. Lucia, presented the contribution to Prime Minister Honorable Philip J. Pierre, who confirmed the funds will be allocated to the Constituency Development Program, or CDP. The CDP supports community-based infrastructure projects, including footpaths, secondary roadways, playing fields, and community centers throughout St. Lucia.
I saw with my own eyes how each and every one of these projects has indeed made a significant impact on the people, the daily lives of the people of St. Lucia. I must admit that I am really impressed by the multitude of these projects. The concrete pavements, the steps leading from people's home to the main roads, the reinforcement of the drainage systems and so on, all have positive impact on the people in the neighborhoods. The railings in schools is extremely vital and important for the protection and safety of the school children, and the renovation of the playing fields, the multi-purpose courts, and the relevant amenities all serve to encourage the young and old to enjoy sports events and also community gatherings.
During the ceremony, Prime Minister Pierre expressed profound gratitude to the government and people of the Republic of China on Taiwan for its steadfast support for St. Lucia. The Prime Minister reaffirmed his commitment to utilizing the CDP funds to enhance community infrastructure and support various capacity building initiatives across all constituencies.
I think the general public has not yet understood how in these small steps we've transformed St. Lucia. So I want to thank you. I want to tell you that my colleagues would have been happy if the allocation was more.
I think you know how to speak at Prime Minister. You must.
Because you went to the constituencies and you saw what they did. And I can tell you, there's a lot more to do,
At a recent sitting of the House of Assembly, Minister for Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, Honorable Joachim Henry, reaffirmed the government's commitment to social development.
The Survey of Living Conditions and Household Budgets is a comprehensive study that combines data on living conditions with information on household income and expenditure. It serves as a critical tool for assessing social needs and establishing evidence-based targets for national development planning. Maureen Lubre, a statistician at the Central Statistical Office, is one of the lead trainers responsible for preparing the 27 registered enumerators participating in the survey.
That we're training enumerators right now. We've been training for the past week. We're into week 2, and today we're going out to do a pilot interview. We're heading to the Degazo and Moni areas.
Similar to the population and housing census, technology is being leveraged in the field to support enumerators and provide the efficiency and accuracy of data collection. Lubre noted that the training equipped enumerators with the necessary knowledge and skills to effectively administer the survey, but she emphasized that its success also depends heavily on the cooperation and participation of the public.
So we're encouraging persons out there to be truthful in terms of their responses, to ensure that they understand exactly what the enumerators are asking, and to respond, because the end product of the survey, what we're hoping to achieve is to ensure that we actually reduce poverty in St. Lucia and to ensure that our standard of living is improved for St. Lucians generally.
St. Lucia has taken the bold step to create its own migration policy. A 3-day workshop held at the Ministry of External Affairs with stakeholders explored the areas that require the most attention. Kishma Serrier has more.
The Ministry of External Affairs, with support from the International Organization for Migration, or IOM, has embarked on the creation of a migration policy for St. Lucia. A 3-day training session brought together local, regional, and international stakeholders. IOM representative Daley Vinlins underscored the value of training to overall migration management.
This training is a timely and necessary response to those realities, offering an opportunity to build national expertise and foster a coordinated, inclusive, and evidence-based approach to migration management. IOM is proud to stand with the government of St. Lucia in this endeavor. This initiative is not only the first of its kind in this country, but it represents a broader commitment to sustainable partnerships and collaborative capacity building.
Deputy Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of External Affairs, Esley Lafayette, says St. Lucia must contend with national and external factors impacting immigration, and as such, an evidence-based driven framework must be established.
We are at a point in St. Lucia's development where we're seeing reduced birth rates in comparison to mortality rates, where immigration, not just for St. Lucia but around the world, is becoming a bigger and bigger issue. You're seeing mass migration from the east. You're seeing, in some cases, countries tightening up their borders. You're seeing human rights violations. And there's such a wide spectrum of issues that even we, as a small island developing state, must contend with.
Lafayette continued that navigating empathy, development, and growth while safeguarding citizens is of major importance.
The question to us is, how do we balance human rights, humanity, with our own impetus for development, our development goals, etc. We have our citizenship by investment program that we must consider. We have things like the trade licensing regime, where we see persons internationally coming in to do business with us, whether physically in St. Lucia, whether it's offshore. You see refugees. Persons don't think of us as a target for persons wanting to come in as refugees, but we see it. And so all of these things, how do we navigate that as a small island?
This is St. Lucia Magazine. Next up, the government of St. Lucia launches a cloud-based financial management system. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Brenda Duncan, Managing Partner for BDO Eastern Caribbean Chartered Accountants. Our team uses the IRD portal at least twice per month for submission of PAYE and VAT returns and payments. We also file annual tax returns and make quarterly corporate tax installments for our clients. It's very useful. At first, it might seem a bit intimidating, but it's actually very user-friendly and easy to use. The best part for me is not having to fill out hard copy documents, prepare checks, and get IRD to stamp forms. All your evidence of payments and filings are right there online for easy reference. For both my local and international clients, it's a huge plus for me, as we can email electronic filings with ease. I would recommend using the IRD portal to any business. It's a safe and secure place to store all your tax activities in the digital format.
Welcome back. In a continued push to modernize public sector operations, government has officially launched CloudSuite. The new platform aims to streamline transactions, boost efficiency, and strengthen cybersecurity, marking a significant milestone in the country's digital transformation journey. More in this report from Glenn Simon.
The government of St. Lucia has taken a major step towards modernizing its financial operations with the official rollout of a new web-based financial management system. After months of preparation, the Accountant General's Department is officially implementing CloudSuite, a state-of-the-art cloud-based system designed to enhance efficiency and transparency in government transactions.
And we have actually going to be implementing a module called Financial Supplies Management Module.
Accountant General Matthew Branford noted that the system replaces the older SmartStream platform and brings with it a host of new capabilities, including real-time interactions with government vendors, streamlined processes for purchase orders, and advanced reporting features powered by the latest analytics and artificial intelligence technology.
What we're trying to do is, at every instance, my team at the Treasury, we are trying to make government financial service more efficient. And we need to come up to speed with the technologies that are being used by the other businesses, so that we can be more compatible and our informations are more readable to this organization. We would like to improve efficiency on every aspect, getting the government vendors' payments as quickly as possible, and to execute on government programs. This is our main intention.
The move to a web-based platform means that authorized government officers can now access the system securely from anywhere in the world, removing previous limitations like VPN access, which were especially restrictive during the COVID-19 pandemic.
We can work from anywhere in the world and through any locations on island and produce as efficient as if you were in the office.
Security remains a top priority. The system is supported by Amazon Web Services, ensuring world-class cybersecurity measures are in place. Mervyn Alexis, Senior Systems and Database Administrator at Government Information Technology Services GITS, explained the extensive upgrades made to government's infrastructure to prepare for the transition.
We had to go through an extensive move of upgrading our system, our entire infrastructure, our network infrastructure, our domain systems, and also our authentication processes, our authentication methods. We now back a robust system that will take us into the years to come.
The introduction of CloudSuite also includes user awareness training to help staff navigate new cybersecurity protocols, such as complex password management and recognizing potential cyber threats. For young professionals like Nikita Mathre at the Accountant General's Department, the new system offers not just improved functionality, but also familiarity and ease of use.
One of the advantages that I love with the new system, CloudSuite, is the fact that it's web-based. It's familiar for persons like me, and new persons coming into government. It's easier to use.
With the rollout of CloudSuite, the government of St. Lucia is not only modernizing its financial management, but also reaffirming its commitment to efficiency, security, and service excellence. As the system becomes fully operational, vendors and citizens alike can expect faster processing times and greater transparency in government's financial operations. For the National Competitiveness and Productivity Council, Glenn Simon reporting.
The government of St. Lucia on April 15th signed 2 pivotal agreements with the United Nations World Food Programme. The first, an anticipatory action agreement designed to provide emergency cash support to vulnerable populations ahead of disasters. And the second, a technical assistance agreement aimed to quicken the government's social support delivery in times of crisis. More in this report.
The government of St. Lucia and the United Nations World Food Programme (WFP) have signed 2 landmark cooperation agreements aimed at enhancing the country's disaster response capacity. These agreements will provide tailored support to people at the highest risk during and after crises. Representatives from the Ministry of Finance, Economic Development and Youth Economy and the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment joined the WFP representative and country director for the Caribbean Multi-Country Office, Brian Bogard, Bogat to ink agreements on anticipatory action and technical assistance. Mr. Bogat commended St. Lucia for its leadership in advancing anticipatory action.
I think it's really important to point out that St. Lucia is really leading the way on this, and we're really proud to have this partnership and to build on the 5 years of experience that we have working here with you on social protection and trying to establish those mechanisms that would make it possible for us to establish anticipatory action instruments in St. Lucia.
The Anticipatory Action Agreement establishes a system to deliver targeted, cash-based assistance to vulnerable households up to 72 hours before an expected hurricane. This proactive approach, guided by scientific forecasts and risk thresholds, ensures support is triggered only when specific risk levels are met. It targets pre-identified vulnerable households, including those enrolled in programs like the Public Assistance Program and Child Disability Grant. These individuals have been selected based on strict vulnerability criteria and the availability of their verified banking information. To ensure preparedness for the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, WFP, in partnership with the Ministry of Equity, will pilot the Anticipatory Action System later this month. Director of Finance, Mr. Imran Williams, emphasized the significance of the approach and its targeted pre-disaster focus.
I think this is one of the few times in terms of an approach I can say we've actually solved this issue. It's very targeted as who's eligible and how do they receive those resources prior to the disaster itself.
In parallel with the Anticipatory Action Agreement, the Technical Assistance Agreement focuses on improving how the government delivers social support programs. Signed between the WFP and the Ministry of Equity, the agreement will enhance data accuracy and beneficiary targeting. The work will also provide staff who deliver social support programs with increased knowledge and skills to more effectively support people at risk. Minister for Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, Honorable Joachim Henry, says these initiatives aim not only to address immediate needs, but also to establish the foundation for more sustainable, data-driven social protection systems.
Reducing vulnerability requires advocacy, not just at the level of the Ministry of Equity, but for everybody who participates in the lives of individuals who are subject to the realities of life. And therefore, the voice of the Ministry of Equity is not enough. The voice of the banking sector, the voice of my other colleague ministers and ministries and professionals, that they can make this advocacy loud enough, not for me to get the entire budget for poor people, but of course the environment in which we work can make it easier for us to achieve our outcomes.
Both agreements are part of WFP's Caribbean Multi-Country Strategic Plan 2022-2026 and align with St. Lucia's national development priorities. As climate-related shocks increasingly affect small island developing states, this collaboration underscores St. Lucia's leadership in creating forward-thinking solutions that safeguard lives and strengthen communities. From the Ministry of Equity, Social Justice and Empowerment, Anicia Antoine.
St. Lucia's primary healthcare system continues to see meaningful transformation thanks to a collaborative project between the Ministry of Health, the Taiwan International Cooperation and Development Fund, and Cathay General Hospital. The 4-year capacity building initiative aimed at preventing and managing chronic metabolic diseases is already making a measurable impact across the island. Chivroy Marius tells us more.
The Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, in collaboration with the Taiwan International Cooperation and Development Fund and the Cathay General Hospital, continues to make significant strides in strengthening St. Lucia's primary healthcare system through a 4-year capacity building project for the prevention and control of metabolic chronic diseases. The project targets and improves screening, management and control of conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, and chronic kidney disease. With its implementation already making tangible impacts around communities, the initiative is helping to reshape health outcomes island-wide. The 4th workshop component, initiated on April 2nd to 3rd at the Bellevue Hotel, focused on integrating the CAFA and HATS guidelines for diabetes and hypertension into primary care practice. Dr. Shanna Sir Filbert, Senior Medical Officer for Non-Communicable Disease and Workshop Coordinator, emphasized the broader reach of the project.
When the project was conceptualized, 4 main health regions, namely health regions 5, 6, 7, and 8, was scheduled to receive help. To date, most solutions, if not all solutions, in one way or another, have been touched by the work of the project.
Her Excellency Nicole Su, Ambassador of the Republic of China on Taiwan to St. Lucia, applauded the joint efforts behind the initiative.
Over the past 2 years, I think we have made significant strides with this project, including the empowering of the policymakers and seed instructors, 11 instructors altogether, I think, and hosting more than 10 public sessions of the education events, and also organizing 20, or perhaps a little bit more, 20 screening activities, reaching more than 1,000 people in various communities in St. Lucia.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Jenny Daniel, noted that the project is now fully embedded into the ministry's operational framework.
The project has become part of the activities implemented at the Ministry of Health while catering to expert training in the field of health promotion, self-management, and multidisciplinary prevention and control of diseases such as diabetes and hypertension. To date, 2 cohorts of healthcare professionals have been trained in Taiwan. These healthcare professionals have planned and led out in activities of areas of health education, health promotion, and of course screening.
Honorable Moses Jean-Baptiste, Minister for Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, expressed deep gratitude for the enduring support of Taiwan.
So I really want to thank Ambassador. Please convey to your government our appreciation for the support. I really want to thank you for the work that you're doing within our communities.
To date, 3 major capacity building workshops have been conducted, each equipping clinical staff with up-to-date training and practical tools to effectively manage chronic conditions using a client-centered approach. The ministry remains steadfast in its commitment to combating chronic diseases through education, prevention, and clinical care. From the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Elderly Affairs, Chevrolet Marius.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back after a short break.
You came and found it clean.
You frolicked in it. You thrived on it. And no matter what flag or latitude, our economies depend on it.
Yet look at you. Out the window.
Mindlessly tossed, carelessly dumped. Anywhere.
Think it just evaporates because you don't see it? Rivers.
Gutters.
Dump sites.
Our blue waters unite us.
Each singular act multiplies the pollution that plagues us, that
threatens the green and blue that sustains us.
But we can alter this cause.
If we put waste to work. Not dumpable.
Bankable.
Reuse it.
Repurpose it.
Recycle it.
Create jobs. Build industries.
It takes just you.
You. And me.
To translate green actions into blue oceans.
If given a chance, your plastic would choose to be put to more beneficial use. Choose recycling.
Welcome back. The Water and Sewage Company, WASCO, has advanced efforts in sustainable wastewater treatment with the launch of Caribsan Phase 2. Virgil Leonti reports.
The Water and Sewage Company, WASCO, continues to advance sustainable sanitation across St. Lucia with the general launch of Phase 2 of the Sustainable Water Treatment Project. In conjunction with the Caribbean Corporation for Wastewater Treatment inspired by Natural Heritage, Caribsan, the launch took place virtually on April 1st. Phase 2 will see the establishment of St. Lucia's first full-scale constructed wetland for wastewater treatment in Black Bay View Fort. As the first of its kind in the country and the wider OECS, the pilot site will serve as a blueprint for expanding this technology across the island. The site is projected to be completed within 2 years. WASCO asserts that with the company overseeing the development and long-term management of the Black Bay site, St. Lucia is positioning itself as a regional leader in sustainable sanitation. The Caribsan project, led regionally by IO Water, is funded by the European Union, co-financed by the Agence Française de Développement AFD, and supported by the water offices of Martinique and Guadeloupe. The system treats wastewater by filtering it through layers of gravel and specially selected plants like heliconia, which naturally break down pollutants. From the Government Information Service, I am Virgil Leonti reporting.
And that brings us to the end of this edition of St. Lucia Magazine. Special thanks to all who contributed to this program, the National Television Network, the GIS team, and the communications officers across our ministries. Thank you for joining us on NTN Channel 122 and on the official social media pages of the Government of St. Lucia. I am Niva Lugist. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged as we look ahead to more positive developments in the coming week.